Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we'll look into a scenario in which Peru and Bolivia make a union. The Peru-Bolivian Confederation has been created. And the first thing they do is go after Ecuador. Poor little Ecuador. Or is it poor little Peru? With Ecuador fighting. In the lead up to the Battle of Quito, they fight back well and slow the advance. But ultimately it fails as the city of Quito gets encircled, but they manage to take less casualties than Peru, although they're all captured or hidden. And well, eventually Ecuador is forced to surrender. They had no choice but to surrender, but that doesn't mean they're done for good. Now does it? Well, for this video, yes, but the next video they'll be back. Well, I got something to say. You know the series, right? The World Gone Wrong series? I forgot to save the map that had the peace treaty on it. So, yeah. Comment if you think I should redo that video or try to figure out how to remake that map. And the Paraguay War has broken out. With the goal being to take as much land as they can before Paraguay has time to launch counter-offensive. And then getting to the river in the middle of Paraguay. And then they managed to advance further into the southern territories. And they managed to completely capitulate the country. But now they know they'll have the next battle will probably be a big one. If they go after Chile, they'll probably have Argentina on their back and Brazil. Oh, they finally decide time to go to war with Chile, but Argentina and Uruguay join. They prepared for Brazil joining. Wait, they didn't prepare for the Falkland Islands joining Argentina in this video. Okay, maybe Britain might be mad at me, but what's the big deal? And Colombia says, yeah, I'll join this too. With them managing to hold a stalemate on Brazil's border, and Brazil troops can't move forwards or advance and are struggling to get forces to the Amazon. So really the defensive is heaviest there because it's not really like here in a jungle. With the entrance into Chile as the Second Pacific War has broken out. And Bolivia's taking lands back. Like they probably will be. With making a small advance into Brazil in the south, and they slow it to not attract too much attention. They also take the panhandle of Argentina. But as this was happening, an offensive was made in the north by Colombia and Brazil. With entering from Colombia's territory. With them managing to take the city of Quito and eventually kick Peru completely out of Ecuador and some of its former territories. By them having stopped the advances, a stalemate is made. With Brazil and Argentina taking this chance to push them back in the front so they don't get cut off from each other, which was the goal of them. With Chile struggling to launch a counter-offensive. And well, eventually, the Bolivian troops move and take their capital, Santiago. And well, the northern front is starting to move better. With Argentina still holding the country. But luckily, it's hard for them to cut these forces off. With them getting here in Peru and Chile, whatever. Chile has surrendered. But Argentina took the quick time to, liberate some lands in the south, although they realized how useless that was. As technically, the red team doesn't have occupation over it. So they started to push here in the south for some reason. Here over here, and they're trying to cross the Andes Mountains. As they also launch an offensive in Brazil, which manages to cut them off from Argentina so they can't supply each other. And there's some Brazil troops stuck in Argentina with now having to fall under Argentina control. And before that happened, disorganization led to the fall of Uruguay. But they finally organized themselves here. But as this was happening, since they were distracted somewhere else, an offensive into Bolivia has begun. And the advance in the north dives deeper. But Argentina is pretty much about to fall. As they take the capital of Argentina, Buenos Aires, I think it's called. Well, I don't know what it's pronounced, but I'm pretty sure that's the city that's... with a bit more advances having to be made in the north. And well, eventually, and this front gets big, and after it gets this big, Argentina is forced to capitulate. And now they can focus on Brazil's offensives. With them knowing they don't need to push Brazil back too much, or they will have problems. And they push back in the north as they kick Colombia out. And well, one problem is they're starting to head towards Bogota. With them deciding to go on the coast, and in their first offensives, Colombia's inability to launch an offensive allows an easy take of Bogota, because a lot of their troops are taken prisoner in the Chile campaign. And slowly they're advancing forward, till Colombia surrenders. Why there? Because Brazil has troops stationed there. With Bolivia moving in on the border to protect the full border with Peru. And now, with the full border defended, they decide to go after a different area. Up the coast, they take Rio, and then they take Sao Paulo. I think they're in way different spots. And then they take Brasilia, the capital. Brazil surrenders. Gets ready for a peace treaty. Let's see how the Great South American War peace treaty goes. Hey, I'm surprised Venezuela didn't do it. Colombia, Argentina, Chile, and Uruguay. And well, now I drew to show the difference between the Bolivian section and the Peruvian section. As you can see, there's a border between both that pretty much just follows the Peru-Bolivia border. And Chile border stayed the same. But it changes a bit as they go into Brazil. With them giving Venezuela land to try and get an alliance, which worked out. And they also managed to get them to stop claiming lands from Guyana, which worked. And that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys!